Señoritas y señores, bienvenidos a otro video para Español 2. Estamos en el video número 5. Señoritas y señores, ladies and gentlemen, it's after school. There's a bunch of people just going nuts outside my window because, you know, extracurricular activities and whatnot. And speaking of extracurricular activities, that's exactly the theme of Chapter 1B, stuff that you guys do outside of the classroom. Because I know for a fact, again, it's great that you're taking all these classes such as Español, Inglés, Matemáticas, Ciencias Naturales, and whatnot. But then also, I'm pretty sure that you guys are super talented in your respective fields. Some of you guys are awesome athletes, musicians, dancers, and so forth and so forth. Great. Muy bien. Let's keep that going as long as you can. Okay, so Chapter 1B. Now this time we are exploring la gramática, the grammar section in this libro. I could have probably used a better looking libro. So thank you very much for hanging out with Señor Barbosa here after school. And so thanks for watching these videos. So right about now, let's go over to the computadora and let's get those grammar skills on point, shall we? All right, here we go. So the internet's out, everybody. And tough break because Señor Barbosa relies on el internet to get anything done around here. But we're going to try to power through best we can. Stay positive, as you know. Clase, that's my thing, you know. So here's the deal. I'm going to grab a Español 2 libro, Spanish 2 book. And let's try to get through the grammar section of this video, or this capítulo, I should say. Yeah, let's try to get through it together. Here we go. All right, so very first thing you got to know about Chapter 1B, ladies and gentlemen, is that you're going to have to brush up on past vocabulario that has to do with activities and places and sports and whatnot. All right, so if all of this is a little fuzzy to you, you owe it to yourself to look it up because we'll be using some of this to practice new stuff to learn in Chapter 1B in Spanish 2. All right, so here we go. Let's go over here where it says los lugares, the places. And here are the words that you need to know coming into Chapter 1B. El café, el centro comercial, el cine, el gimnasio, el parque, el restaurante, el trabajo, la biblioteca, la casa, la iglesia, la mezquita, el templo, la sinagoga. Okay, so this part, remember from Spanish 1, iglesia, church, mezquita, mosque, templo, temple, sinagoga, synagogue. And then finally, la piscina. But, you know, in Mexico, they say la alberca. Once again, if you don't know what those mean, Google is your friend. Technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it? All right. Los deportes. Correr. Hacer ejercicio, ir al partido, jugar al básquetbol, béisbol, fútbol, golf, tenis, voleibol, levantar pesas. Señor Barbosa's specialty. Las actividades. Caminar, dormir, escuchar música, hablar por teléfono, ir a la lección de piano, ir de compras, jugar videojuegos, leer, pasar tiempo con amigos, tocar, for example, tocar la guitarra, tocar el piano, trabajar, hacer trabajo voluntario, and then finally, usar la computadora. So, once again, ladies and gentlemen, you got your libro, you got the wonderful World Wide Web. Does anyone call it the World Wide Web anymore? That's how old I am. And, but that's how you pronounce everything, and I hope you guys remember. And if you didn't catch that the first time around, then pause this video and go back and listen to it again. All right, and then the other review part of Chapter 1B, let's talk about the verb ir, ladies and gentlemen. The verb ir, to say where someone is going. So basically to go in Spanish. Now, it's way irregular in the present tense in Spanish, ladies and gentlemen, okay? IR ending infinitive, completely irregular in the present tense, okay? So looks nothing like the original. So once again, in order, yo voy, I go. Tú vas, you go. Usted or él or ella va, you formal, go. He goes, she goes. Nosotros, sometimes nosotras vamos, we go. In Spain, they would say vosotros vais, but it's not used very much around here. Ustedes van, ellos van, ellas van. All of you go, and then they go. Ellas being females. Ellos van, ellas van. Voy, vas, va, vamos, van is what you need to know for the verb ir. And then you're going to need to know this recipe, this information. Ir plus a plus infinitive to tell what someone is gonna do. So, vamos a hablar por teléfono después de las clases. Voy a ir al cine en la tarde. Vas a la biblioteca después de las clases. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Voy, vas, va, vamos, van. All right. One last thing for this section. I kind of skipped it, but let me go back. Remember, recuerdas, remember, Spanish has two contractions. So anytime you see these two words in this order, a followed by el, put them together. A plus el equals al. And then once again, you see de followed by el in that order. De plus el equals del. So here's this example. Mis amigos y yo vamos al café. So it was originally a plus el. Now it's, or a followed by el. Now it's al. El nombre del café es Café Sol. Again, it was de and el. And now it's del café. I'm sorry. Yeah, del café es Café Sol. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's a quick and dirty review from stuff that you should have learned in Español Uno. And once again, you're going to need to refresh your memory about all of that in order for you to be successful in this next chapter, chapter 1B. Okay, clase, moving on. Página 53, page 53 in your Spanish 2 libro is going to tell you all about something called making comparisons. And so when you're making comparisons, yeah, you know, I mean, you're trying to say that this is as many as, or this is as much as, more than, less than, older than, younger than, all that good stuff. But I gotta be straight up with you. This is going to be complicado. It's going to be a little complicated. So please, please, please exert additional patience when it comes to this lesson, because this is going to require a lot of practice, most definitely. So let's compare people or things that are equal, all right? And just like in science class or like in math class, this is going to require you using formulas, all right? So if you're good at formulas in science and math and whatnot, then you're going to have to apply the same mindset with making comparisons in Spanish. To compare people or things that are equal, please use this. The word tan plus whatever adjective you're trying to say in Español plus como, all right, without the accent, okay? Because the one with the accent means how. So here's an example. Levantar pesas es tan popular como correr. All right, and what you're saying right there is lifting weights is as popular as running, okay? Just play along. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. But there you go. Tan is more or less the equivalent of as. Popular, popular. And como, in this case, it's going to be like more or less the English equivalent would be like as. Okay, so as popular as, tan popular como, tan difícil como, and so on and so on. Okay, so once again, tan plus adjective plus como to compare things or people that are on equal terms. All right, one's not better than the other one, one's not bigger than the other one or smaller than the other one. No, they're both equal in standing. Okay. If things are not equal,
then just like in Spanish 1, what you can do is put the word no in front of the verb. And in this case, it's going to be a form of the verb ser. In this case, it's es. Levantar pesas no es tan popular como correr. So lifting weights is not as popular as running. All right. So once again, stick the negative word no in front of the verb here, and that way you say that they are not equal. All right. Okay, so if you want to say as much as or as many as, you're gonna have to use the word tanto, but watch out, because this most definitely agrees with number and gender. Matchy comes into play. So tanto, but it could be tanta, but it could be tantos, but also it could be tantas. Okay, so singular masculine, singular feminine, I'm sorry. Plural masculine, plural feminine. So as you can see, it really does depend on what you're describing. It's dependent on the number and gender of what you're describing. Okay, so either tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas, plus whatever noun that you want to use, plus once again the word como, the one without the accent. So here's an example. Let me move myself a little up right here. There it is. So if you want to say there are as many dancers as there are actors in a given situation, I, of course, everyone knows I means there is or there are tantas bailarinas, in this case female dancers, en el ensayo como actores. Okay, so once again, bailarinas, feminine plural, we need a feminine plural of this right over here to match it up, because once again, we got to go matchy here. Okay, so tantas, feminine plural, bailarinas, feminine plural. Okay, hay tantas bailarinas en el ensayo como actores. All right. And then of course, if you had like actors, if we flip the script a little bit, we would say something like this: hay tantos actores en el ensayo como bailarinas, for example. All right. So again, to say as much as or as many as, use tanto, tanta, tantos, tantas, one of these, plus whatever noun you're using, plus the word como to say as, to compare those. All right. Let's keep going. Let me see if I could try to put this screen up here. Here are your comparative words that you are working with in this lesson. All right. And once again, we'll start off with okay, so basically something called no, that's not okay. All right. So what's going on here is this. Check it out. So you take something good, right? In Spanish, it's bueno or buena. But if it's more than good, then it's going to be mejor que. Mejor que. Because you see, you have something good, then you have something better, and then of course everyone knows that you have something best. So good, better, best. So if you have something good, then one up on that is better. So that's what's going on here, okay? So if you have something that is bueno or buena, then it's mejor. All right. Remember that the word mejor ends in the letter R, so it can describe both masculine and feminine nouns. So and if you want to go plural with this, buenos and buenas, then you have to add an es to the word mejores, because once again, matchy. Okay, so buenos, buenas, mejores. On the flip side of that, malo or mala. Okay. One up on that is peor. So peor que, worse than. Peor que, worse than. Of course, if it's plural, it's going to be malos or malas, depending on the gender of what you're describing. And then peores, add an es once again, because that's the rule. You add an es when it ends in a consonant like that. Something that is old, or someone that is old, viejo or vieja. And then, of course, one up on that is mayor. Mayor que, older than. All right. If it's plural, viejos or viejas, then it's mayores, add an es, okay? And then finally, joven. Notice that joven ends in a consonant, so just use joven for both masculine and feminine descriptions. Menor que. All right, so jóvenes, add es right there to make it plural. Menores, add es there to make it plural. All right. Continuing on with comparatives, ladies and gentlemen, we do not use más with adjectives bueno, malo, viejo, and joven. I mean, I still hear some people say it, especially from people from Mexico, for example. They do say sometimes más bueno or más malo, más viejo or más joven. But grammatically, the correct way to go, if something is better than bueno, something that is worse than malo, something that is older than viejo, something that is younger than joven, you would use mejor, peor, mayor, menor instead, okay? So mejor, better, peor, worse, mayor, older, menor, younger. All right, so let's try to go with those. Mejor, peor, mayor, and menor. I think I already mentioned this. Yeah, if you want to make them plural, or if you are comparing things that are plural, add an es, because, you know, since they all end in consonants, es at the end of these to make them plural. So instead of mejor, now you got mejores, peores, mayores, menores. Oh, and there they are right over there. Okay, más and menos, more and less. So here's your formula in order for you to make comparisons that something is more than something else or something that is less than something else, okay? So más and menos plus whatever adjective you want to use to compare the two things, plus the word que. Now, the word que in this instance is not going to mean what. The word que here, without the accent mark, is going to mean than in this context, okay? So essentially, more something than or less something than is what you're going for when you use this formula right over here, all right? So take más or menos, depending on if you want to say more or less, plus whatever describing word you want to use, adjective, plus, again, the word que. There really shouldn't be an accent mark over here. You could disregard that. So here we go. Las canciones de María. Did I say? Okay, I don't have my glasses. Let me try that again. Las canciones de Maná. You know, Mexico's most popular rock band ever. Son más populares que las canciones de los Lobos, another great rock band out of East LA. All right, so in this example, you're trying to say that the songs from Maná are more popular than the songs from Los Lobos. Once again, stick to the formula, okay? So we got más. And then since we're describing plural things, it's going to be populares. Populares, okay? Las canciones, that's feminine plural, populares, all right? And don't forget that popular can describe both masculine and feminine nouns. So there you go. Más populares, and then the word que to, again, to signify than, all right? Let's see here. Oh, okay. So then we have Jorge, our friend Jorge. Pretend that he's less serious than Maria. He's a jokester, a prankster. Jorge es menos serio que Maria. I forget to take out this accent. All right. So again, stick to the script, stick to the formula. Menos plus describing word, serio, in this case, because remember, Jorge is masculine singular, so serio, masculine singular, matchy matchy. And then the word que, in this case, once again, meaning than. All right. You want to say most and least in Spanish? You want to compare things that are most and least? Well, this is what you got to do. Here's your formula. First, let's start off with your definite article. Now, don't forget, definite articles are the equivalent of the in Spanish, okay? So all of these, well, yeah, but the right one, of course. El, or la, or los, or las. All of those mean the. Again, it depends on what your noun is, if it's singular, plural, masculine, feminine, okay? So either el, or la, or los, or las, depending on the number and gender of the noun. Of course, the noun comes next. And then we're going to use más and menos again, okay? But this time, más and menos doesn't mean more or less. In this context, más and menos will mean most and least. Yeah, so be careful, okay? Because in this lesson, más or menos in the previous slides means more or less, but here it's gonna mean most and least. And then finally, whatever adjective you want to describe, you know, if you want to say something is most and least of something. Here we go. Check it out. Correr es la actividad más difícil de los deportes. Oh, I forgot to mention.
Students and staff, it's your last chance to get your makeup picture done. Head on over to the small gym right now. It's your last opportunity to get a picture for the yearbook. Go to the small gym for makeup pictures.
Should I take my picture? I don't think I did. I'll think about it. All right. So there you go. Okay, so once again, formula. One of these, plus one of these, plus one of these, plus one of these, plus one of these. In this order, correr es la actividad más difícil de los deportes. Okay, so running is the most difficult out of all the sports. Now, if you want to go the opposite of that, correr es la actividad menos difícil de los deportes. Running is the least difficult of all the sports. And so there you go. Again, please stick to the formula, stick to the script, page 53 in your libro, and try to memorize the order of things when you're trying to do certain comparisons. All right? Oh, last one. Best and worst. Another formula for you. I told you this was going to be a very difícil lesson, but again, hey, Spanish 2, the sequel. To say the best and the worst, use this formula. Once again, start off with your definite article, either el or la or los or las, depending on the gender and number. Matchy, matchy. Plus the word mejor or peor. All right. Now, again, earlier, mejor meant better, peor meant worse. But here, mejor means best and peor means worst. Nadar es la mejor actividad de los deportes. All right, so swimming is the best activity out of all the sports. La, definite article. Mejor, okay. Actividad is your noun, and then, of course, the word de. And then, of course, if you want to say it's the worst, then you would say nadar es la peor actividad. Notice, yes, most definitely, you're going to need to know the number and gender of the nouns that you're describing. Look at this. Actividad, that is feminine singular. Okay. Libros, that is masculine plural. So basically, anytime you learn brand new vocabulary in Spanish, when you make those flashcards, you must memorize each noun's gender. All right. And that way, later on, when you actually start using all of these nouns that you acquire in Spanish class, then you'll know if it's a masculine or feminine noun. But we live in the golden age of information, everybody. So if you forget, just a quick lookup, and hopefully you can memorize after you look it up if a noun is masculine or feminine. Okay. Mis libros son los peores libros de la clase. My books are the worst books in the class. So once again, libros, plural masculine. So that's why you need a plural masculine definite article. You need los, matchy matchy, los libros. And then of course, peores. Make sure you make that plural because that's got to match its number. And then de la clase. So again, follow the formulas, por favor. This is going to take some extensive práctica, ladies and gentlemen. There's really no way around it. So this is probably the first very difícil lesson of the school year. But, you know, we're going to have to, you know, either climb that wall, go under the wall, go through the wall, but we got to get to the other side somehow, okay? All right. Okay, señoritas y señores, for this part of the video, going over saber and conocer, I'm going to have to actually direct your attention to the libro. So let's take a look together. Let's check it out. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, there it is. Saber and conocer, they both mean to know. However, you need to know when to use the verb saber. You need to know when to use the verb conocer. And if I can try to get it not to be so blurry, then we can go over it together. All right. You already know present tense forms of saber and conocer. Well, actually, this is the part where we're going to review together. Saber and conocer both follow the pattern of regular ER ending verbs in the present tense, but each has an irregular yo form. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, treat it like an ER ending infinitive. Okay, so once again, I hope you guys remember your ER infinitives and the endings. So the only one where you're going to have to make an adjustment is going to be in the yo form, okay? In the yo form. So it gets weird when you try to conjugate the verbs saber and conocer in the yo form. So let's real quick conjugate the verb saber. Here we go. Yo sé. Now notice that I'm writing it in rojo, in red, because once again, irregular yo conjugation. And then everything else is regular. So let's get to it. Tú sabes. Usted, él, ella sabe. Nosotros or nosotras sabemos. In Spain, they would say vosotros sabéis, but again, where we live in the world, not really something that we're going to use. And then finally, ustedes, ellos, ellas saben. All right, so as you could see, like I said earlier, the weird one is the yo conjugation. It's classified as an irregular yo verb. All right, I'm sorry, irregular yo form. But everything else, just treat it the same as any other ER ending verb. Okay, let's take a look at the other verb that means to know. Conocer. Conocer also means to know. All right, saber means to know, conocer means to know. So let's conjugate it, but then we'll get into when to use saber, when to use conocer in a moment. So, yo conozco. All right, once again, irregular yo conjugation. Irregular yo conjugation. And then the rest, like I said earlier, just treat it like a normal ER ending verb. Tú conoces. All right. Usted, él, ella conoce. Nosotros, sometimes nosotras, conocemos. In Spain, they would say vosotros, vosotras conocéis. And then finally, ustedes, ellos, ellas conocen. There it is. Conocer. To know. All right. Now, let's cover why we use saber in certain situations and why we use conocer in another situation. Okay, so let's break it down. All right, saber and conocer. When to use saber, when to use the verb conocer. So we conjugated this earlier. Yeah, so let's start with the verb saber. Yeah, don't forget. Irregular yo form in the present tense. We use saber to talk about knowing facts or information. So if we have some knowledge in our possession, then we're going to use the verb saber. ¿Saben dónde está Juan? Do you guys know where Juan is? Sí, sabemos dónde está. Yes, we know where he is. Saber followed by an infinitive. Don't forget AR, ER, IR ending means to know how. Yo sé jugar fútbol. Okay? So I know how to play soccer. Yo sé nadar. I know how to swim. Yo sé jugar videojuegos. I don't know. So if you're going to be using yo sé, and then the verb after it has to end A-R-E-R-I-R, and that means in Spanish that you know how to do something. ¿Sabe él tocar la guitarra? Okay, does he know how to play the guitar? Yeah, sabemos nosotros, or sabemos patinar. I'm just kind of spitballing here. All right, let's go to conocer. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, irregular yo form. So watch out for conocer. Now, this also means to know, but it means to know in the sense of being acquainted or familiar with the person, place, or thing. So if you recognize somebody, if you recognize a place, if you recognize a thing, hey, yeah, I know that guy, or hey, yeah, I'm familiar with that place, something of the sort. That's when you use conocer. All right? ¿Conoces a María Teresa? Do you know María Teresa? Sí, yo la conozco. The word la here is called a direct object pronoun. We will be exploring direct object pronouns later this year. Yeah, I know her. Sí, yo la conozco. Yes, I know her. Conozco, yo conozco, I know. Again, once again, that's the irregular yo form that we saw earlier. Conocemos Madrid muy bien. We know the city of Madrid very well. So like, again, being familiar with the place, being familiar with the person, being familiar with the thing, and that's when you would use the verb conocer. Finally, señoritas y señores, in this very long video all about chapter 1B grammar, we're gonna go to página 58, page 58. You're gonna be learning how to say how long people have been doing things, how long something's been going on, with something called hace plus time expressions. All right. So let's analyze the whole thing. So to tell how long something's been going on, we use the word hace. All right, another equation for you guys, okay? Another formula for you, so make sure you memorize this. Hace plus the period of time in question, plus the word que, again, the one without the accent, and then plus a present tense verb. Okay, so there's your formula so that you can indicate how long something has been going on. All right. Hace 3 días que estoy enfermo. All right. So it's been 3 days since I've been sick. Once again, hace. Okay, that's our first component. Plus period of time. 3 días, 3 days. Plus the word que. All right. Plus a present tense verb. And in this case, it's the present tense of estar in the yo form, yo estoy. And then, of course, sick, enfermo. Hace 3 días que estoy enfermo. It's been 3 days since I've been sick. Hace más de 2 años que soy miembro del club atlético. Same formula once again. Hace, we start off with hace, and then the time frame, más de 2 años, more than 2 years, and then que, and then present tense verb, in this case the present tense of the verb ser in the yo form, soy, and then miembro, member del club atlético, of the athletic club. So it's been more than 2 years that I'm a member of the athletic club. Hace 3 semanas que practicamos con el equipo de básquetbol. Hace, and then period of time, 3 semanas, and then the word que, and then present tense verb. This time it's practicar, present tense nosotros form, practicamos, and then the rest, con el equipo de básquetbol. So it's been 3 weeks that we've practiced with the basketball team. If we want to ask how long something has been going on, if we want to use it in the form of a question, this is your formula that you use. Take the word cuánto, and in this case, it should have an accent mark. Oh boy. All right. Pretend there's an accent mark over this vowel right over here, cuánto. And then the word tiempo, but notice that it's in parentheses because sometimes this is optional. So, cuánto tiempo, that phrase means how much time or how long has it been. Cuánto tiempo hace, how long has it been? But you can also say cuánto hace because it's assumed if you use cuánto that you're talking about a time frame, okay? So you can say cuánto tiempo hace, how long has it been? Or you can use or say cuánto hace, means the same thing. Cuánto tiempo hace que, and then once again, a present tense verb. How long has it been since this is going on? Let's look at some examples. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace, and then que plus present tense verb. Here it is. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que Elena está enferma? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que Elena está enferma? All right. Once again, the verb estar. In this case, it's the usted, el, ella conjugation because we're talking about Elena. We're not talking to Elena. Okay. So how long has it been that she's been sick? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que Elena está enferma? You can also say ¿cuánto hace que Elena está enferma? Just like I mentioned earlier, okay? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que eres miembro del club atlético? How long has it been that you're a member of the club? Once again, ¿cuánto athletic club? ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que eres? That is the tú form of the verb ser in the present tense. Okay, you are, tú eres. So how long has it been that you're a member? All right. ¿Cuánto tiempo hace que ustedes practican con el equipo de basquetbol? How long has it been that you guys have been practicing with the basketball team? Okay. Again, you can omit the word tiempo if you want. That's optional. ¿Cuánto hace que ustedes practican con el equipo de basquetbol is also correct. All right. And I think that's just about going to do it, señoritas y señores, and not a moment too soon because it is time for me to go home. And besides, there is no internet. It says right here, connection error, even though I'm hardwired through Ethernet. So, yeah, you know, less than ideal conditions here at work. When you guys get jobs, you'll know what I mean. But again, what are you going to do? Are you going to just get grumpy about it? Or are you going to just try to do the best you can with what you got? Okay. Again, my whole thing, we try to stay positive out there, people. It's difícil for me to not be able to connect to the internet so I can do the basic things around here. But at the same time, I'm most definitely not going to let it affect my mood. And I hope I don't take it out on you guys. And if I do, sorry. No, I don't believe in that. No, I mean, like, if things go wrong for me personally, you guys, it's not your fault. I mean, you know, that wouldn't be fair. Although, it'd be kind of funny. Deep down inside, it would be funny. Right? Am I right? All right, look. It's late. Gotta get out of here. This has been video número 5 for Español 2. And once again, señoritas y señores, muchísimas gracias for making time for Spanish. Por favor, dejen un comentario abajo. Please leave a comment below. I will catch you guys in the next video. All right. Adios.